Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Pravachana Malika talk number 36. Today's theme is on beauty and linguistic of names, Rama and Seetha of Ramayana. Our keynote speaker today is Sri Ashwin, who is an IT professional and a multilinguist. He can speak and write in about 100 languages or more. He's in London, UK, and he's going to be presenting the main talk today. So we're going to begin with Veda Kusumanjali. And we have a very exciting Yakshigana performance by Master Anish as Nrityanjali. And then we'll have the talk and have concluding remarks by Dr. Paramba Yogamaya and by Dr. Rupa Rao. So Shivalinga and Vasanavare, please, Veda Kusumanjali.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Bhadram Karnevi Shunayama Devaha Bhadram Pashyem Akshavir Yajatraha Sthirairangai Stushtrava Sastanuvi Vishema Deva Hitan Yadayuhu Tastina Indro Vradashavaha Tastina Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti Nastarksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brahaspatirdadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Om Agnenaya Sapataraye Asman Vishwani Deva Vayanani Vidvan Yuyodhyasma Juhuranameno Bhuyishtanteno Bhuktim Vidhema Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Om Abrahman Brahmano Brahmavachasi Jayatam Arashtre Rajanyah Sureshavyoti Vyadhi Maharato Jayatam Dogdri Dhenuho Voda Nadvan Ashusaptihi Purandiryosha Jishnarateshta Sabeyo Yuva Asya Yajamanasya Viro Jayatam Nikame Nikame Naha Pajjanyo na Varshato Paravatyo na Voshadayah Pachyantam Yogakshemo Naha Kalpetam Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Om Purnamada Purnavidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Om Vishnonakam Viryani Pravocham Yappartivani Vimame Rajagumse Yo Askabaya Duttaragum Sadastam Vichakramanaste Dorugayo Vishnoraradamasi Vishno Prashtamasi Vishno Shnaptre Esto Vishno Syurasi Vishno Druvamasi Vaishnavamasi Vishnavetva Tadasya Prema Vipato Ashyam Naro Yatra Devayava Madante Guru Kramasya Sahi Bandhurita Vishnu Pade Parame Madvavutsaha Pratad Vishnu Stavate Viryaya Prghona Bhima Kucharo Girishta Yasya Rusho Trishu Vikramaneshu Adikshiyanti Bhuvanani Vishwa Paromatraya Tanuva Vridhana Nate Mahitva Manvashnuvanti Ubhete Vidmarjasi Putivya Vishno Devatvam Paramasya Vitse Vichakrame Putivimeshayetam Kshetraya Vishnurmanushe Dashasyan Dhruvaso Asya Kira Yojanasaha Urukshitighum Sujanima Chakara Trideva Putivimeshayetam Vichakrame Shatarcha Samahitva Pravishnu Tavasastaviyam Teshagumhyasya Stavirasya Nama Ato Deva Avantu no Yato Vishnor Vichakrame Prithivya Saptadhamabihi Idam Vishnor Vichakrame Tredanugade Padam Samudavasya Padam Sure Tini Pada Vichakrame Vishnor Gopa Adhabhyaha Tato Dharmani Dharayanna Vishna Karmani Pashyatayato Vratani Paspashe इन्द्रस्य युज्यः सखा तद्विष्णो परमं पदगं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवि वा चक्षुरा ततं तद्विप्रा स्वविवन्यवो जागृवांसः समिं ददे विष्णोर्यत्परमं पदं पर्याप्त्य अनन्तरायाय सर्वस्तोमातिरात्र उत्तममहर्भवति सर्वस्याप्त्यै सर्वस्य जित्यै सर्वमेव तेनाप्नोति सर्वं जयति ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत्
Very good.
नमस्ते सर।
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vasanare. Very nice. So
Now,
now I invite Master Anish, Rupa, his mother is here. So she's going to do the Nrityanjali portion on Yakshagana.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity. I'm Rupa Rao and my son Anish Rao. I'm going to play some videos of Yakshagana. I couldn't do the live performance because it requires elaborate makeup, and his guru was not in town. Just a brief introduction about Yakshagana. It's a traditional theatre form that originated in the coastal regions of Malnad in Karnataka. So, if it can be compared to Western form, it's like opera, which combines dance, music, abhinaya, and they depict tales of Ramayana, Mahabharata, or it could be even a local tale. So it has different parts to it, Yakshagana. It's a little bit different compared to the traditional art forms that we have in India. So one is costume and makeup, elaborate makeup and the costume. The costume traditionally is made out of wood. The wood is carved and these ornaments are made. And even the headgear is supposed to be made of wood. If you combine the costume, it's about 15 kilos. So you can imagine you have to dance with that amount of heavy costume and makeup. So it adds to the complexity. Then music. Music can be live or recorded nowadays, but the live music has a musician called Bhagavat, and who actually will help with dialogues as well. They sing and also help to carry the story forward. Yakshagana is very spontaneous. Here we do the recorded form, very small snippet. I don't think I'm doing justice to what real Yakshagana is. Real Yakshagana is done all night, like night to morning time. So the lights and the colors is even brighter at night. But now it's like cricket match. You go for a 3-hour match or T20. So we have a short form like 1.5 hours. Even 1.5 hours, they combine hasya or abhinaya, hasya, and all forms. So it appeals to the people and gets to the people. So there's the narrow version. And then styles. There are different styles. North side of the Karnataka and south side, there's a different style. And then the theme, it could be song at a small tale, but it combines everything. And then actually the dialogues are spontaneous. They actually have back and forth, and they get to each other. That's so fun to watch. So that's Yakshagana in general. So my son Anish has been learning Yakshagana from his guru, Dr. Rajendra Kedlaya. Kedlaya is from Udupi, and he has learned Yakshagana for practicing for more than 30 years. But he's here in US. So he initially started with a very small, like 6 students. Actually, I was one of his students, and 6 females actually. We started with that, and we were going around and giving performances. Now our children have seen us. My son has grown seeing me perform. Now he has taken over. I'm not performing anymore. But Dr. Kedlaya now has a big school with through Zoom all over US and Canada. Actually, children and adults are learning, and it has really evolved. He gives a lot of performances, and they're fun to watch. And actually, they're experimenting with dialogues in English so that it can cater to the wider audience. And even we have given performances to people from, like if there is a festival where people come and from US come, and they enjoy and they understand the theme. So I'm going to play just 2 songs, about 5 minutes each. And pardon me for any technical difficulties. It's a large file, so I'm going to play this. I'm going to share the screen.
Rupama, did you also share the sound? As you share the screen, there will be a check mark.
Yeah.
So we can't hear the sound.
Play the audio, no? This Claudia click.
Rupa madam, can you put the audio? We're not able to hear audio. So when you share it, share screen, there is a option called share sound. If you can check it, then we can hear the sound.
So over pause, there is a circle, red circle, probably sound one.
Thank you so much. Sorry, there was some technical difficulties, but there was some small snippets of praying to Lord Ganesha, the first song, and the second one was lifting the Govardhanagiri by Krishna.
Oh, it's very visually very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rupai. And we wish to see Anish again, hopefully in live performance with full costume. So it is a spectacle. Thank you. So, Nana, you want to introduce the speaker?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, somehow we have been asking Dr. Rupa to bring her son to the stage, but somehow things are all going on. Subhe Sohane Muhurte Adya Brahmanaha. And moreover, tomorrow day after, we have got the Krishna Janma and Ashtami. So she has appropriately picked up the Krishna Govardhana Uddharana and also Ganapati. So I think this, if had there been sound management also could have been more effective, but still we could see the abhinaya, the expressions, and that itself is of course language. Abhinaya also is a language, apart from the voice. But we expect. Meanwhile, there is some time also. Manage whether you are able to get the sound also next. And now we introduce he's a discovery for us. I don't know. I know only his father-in-law and his wife is our student. And of course, memory fades away, but we know very well KSR. And when Anjaneya Prasad happened to go to UK and he happened to found his friend, classmate, and visited him, and he introduced saying that Nana Aswath is really a talented fellow, not only IT official or professional. So, and then I became very much anxious because after all, our students. And moreover, when he is ready to talk about Rama and Seetha, their Mahima and the linguistic approach also to the terms Ra, Ma, Seetha, these 4 letters, because the Parameswari is there in the Aksharamala. Even Narasimha Swami is also said to be Akaradi Chakarantaya Namaha and Varnamala Vibhushitaya Namo Namaha. So the letters that we have got in our names are not just letters, but they are very, very powerful, meaningful, spiritual, and also message filled. So when our Ashwat said, sir, he gave me 3 topics options. But one is about linguistics and about other Rama and Seetha. But I thought when we think of the Mahima of Rama and Seetha, the entire Ramayana consists of Valmiki, the first person who started to describe the Mahima of Rama and Seetha. Seetha to bear the torture of the tortures among the Rakshasas, and Rama to stay alone in the forest, secluded from all human contact. He was only with monkeys. Imagine yourself to be in the company of monkeys, daybreak to dayset for so many time. But it was only a compulsory need for Rama, because he was advised by Agastya or Bharadwaja, Sugriva, Deshakalau pratikshasva Kshamamanaha priya priye Sugriva Vasago Bhava. That was the order. See, Deshakala pratikshasva, please wait and tolerate. You are a Chakravarti's son, and you are but you are now in a forest undergoing the execution of the word of your father. So Kala also 14 years is the Kala, Chamasva, and after all, Sugriva Vasago Bhava. Not only you should be under the control of monkeys, very fickle fellows, don't know their behavior and all that. Because Shakha Sambhramananyaya, they say, in all branches of the tree, in all trees in the forest, the monkeys will be moving. You can't stabilize them. So the Sugriva is the king of them. You can imagine the Chapalyam. So he's the Raja. And with such Raja, he made friendship and he was able to get the work done. And also the monkeys became, forget about the background. Oh, they're all devatas, all these things, forget. But just from the story point of view, you see, in fact, we should pity Ravanasura. If one monkey comes to our garden, imagine how panicky we become. And now into the Lanka cities with garden, thousands and crores of monkeys are attacking Lanka, poor Ravanasura. So that angle also we see, very angry and fighting. But how much havoc the monkeys could do. So like that, but still Rama and Sita, they are the grand examples for man and woman and their relationship as wife and husband. Sita Rama Dampatya is really classical. No doubt, Sita in Lanka, Rama in India for 14 years. But that was a period which I had to go, that's the Kala. And again, that's very interesting. So I don't talk much about it. I leave our Ashwin to present a beautifully linguistic point of view also, the approach to that. Thank you very much. Please start. Afterwards I comment.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Fully agree. First of all, many thanks for this opportunity. It means a lot to even speak over here as one of the speakers. So if you ask the question, how do you spell Rama? That's the question. How do you spell Sita? Right. So if you, in English, people spell it as R-A-M-A. Most common, Hindi speakers might say Ram, but still it is Rama in Sanskrit. And then in S-I-T-A or S-E-E-T-H-A or S-E-E-T-A, S-I-T-H-A, there's so many different spellings you will get. Effectively, however you see it in English, if you ask someone to spell a word, it will take a few seconds. Now, the same thing with Sanskrita, it's a lot longer than we think. So how long, if you wonder how long it will take to spell Rama, It can take up to 5 minutes just to tell the spelling without even the meaning. Just telling the spelling itself fully articulate, it can take up to 5 minutes. And then to tell the spelling of Seetha itself, it will take so much time. So that's what every aspect of Samskrita, every aspect of knowledge that is there, there's so much packed into it. So today what we'll see is we'll just use these two words as an example, as a reason, but then we will explore what this technique is and how can someone get this detailed spelling and what is the significance of that. It's a humble attempt, just personal research, trying to get the information compiled from various books. I'll keep mentioning the references as well, because that is one more thing with Samskrita texts. Almost everything that you see or hear or read, there will always be a reference. They will, just like any other university, any other white paper, authentic paper, there will be a reference like that. There are references here as well. So when you typically ask about grammar, most people will know Panini's Ashtadhyayi. That's the first thing that they hear about. So from the Vedas, there are Vedangas. From the Vedangas, there are different branches, sub-branches. So there's a whole hierarchical structure that is established. And one of them is called Shiksha. Shiksha itself means study. It means to teach something. But there are in this branch of Shiksha, there are multiple books. So basically, if you imagine Panini's Ashtadhyayi as a 4,000 step algorithm, it has got so many elements of grammar, rules, about pronunciation, about it's all the aspects are there. And then you have books like Siddhanta Kaumudi, and then you have, if you're new to Sanskrit and you want to learn Samskrita, chances are you will start with Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, for example. Various books are there to introduce yourself. In this big ocean, after Panini's Ashtadhyayi, almost like a appendix, you have some 22 books. Each book itself is, fully in Sanskrit itself, it is quite big. So they are called Shiksha. Paniniya Shiksha, Vyasa Shiksha, Yagyavalkya Shiksha, Naradiya Shiksha, Vasishtya Shiksha, Aitreya Shiksha. Like that, there are many, many books that you will see and come across. And if you get into even one of these, it's mind-numbing. We use the word mind-blowing, very, very casually. But when we get into the depth of it, it is very poetic. It is beautiful, and it is extremely logical, well thought out, deep, and divine. It's all of that packed into every line. Now, to get information out of that for the word Rama or Seetha, you have to explore a lot. This is what Samskrita does. It will, more than teaching you, if you explore, it will teach you more. If you explore further, it will open up another world and say, okay, take that, go as deep as you can. So let's look at Rama. This technique is called Varnakrama. Varnakrama has got 5 levels in which you can spell any word. You can get 5 levels. So the first level is just telling the akshara as you normally tell. So if you say any akshara in Samskrita, you have the Varnamala, you have all the vowels in the beginning, then you have ka, kha, ga, ga, nga, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya, anyara, lava, sha, sha, sa, ha. Till there we have these aksharas. Now, for each of them, you will hear kara added to it. So, akara, akara, ikara, takara, makara, kakara, yakara, jakara, like that. They'll keep adding the word kara to all the akshara. That's how you spell it out. However, for ra, they say refa, refa. Refa is used for ra. Apart from that, all the others will have kara. With this simple rule, the first level is just tell the akshara. So Rama, if you split it, is We normally write it as Ra and Ma, as but if you see it as R, A, the dirgha, the long vowel, A, the nasal, which is M, and then A, which is a short vowel. That's it. So how do we say that? Repha, Akara, Makara, Akara, Rama. That is the first level. And we've spelled it. The world's languages are spelling it at this level, and that's it. We are done. That's how you spell. But we are only getting started with Samskrita, with Varnakram. So next we go to the next level. So in the next level, something very interesting happens. For each of the vowels that are used, so not for the consonants, for the vowels, there are pitches in which you can say this. You are supposed to say this. There are rules for that. There are boundaries, there are rules for how you utter that pitch. So there are udatta, which is high pitch, anudatta, low pitch, and then swarita. Swarita, there are 7 variations of swarita pitch itself. And then it's half of it is high, and then it goes into low. Sometimes it is kampita, sometimes it is kshaipra. And so there are different swaritas that are available. So there are so many different swaritas. Now, just the rules of how many variations of udatta, anudatta, swarita are there, when do you apply what, and what are the rules around that, is a whole book. Vasishtya Shiksha is an entire book only on these 3 swaras. That's it, and its variations. So that Shiksha is completely into that. That's the level of depth they have captured and composed and compiled within Samskrita. So here in the word Rama, the A is dirgha anudata, and the A, the short A, is in udatta. So if we now tell the spelling of the akshara and the which pitch it is, it will be Repha dirghanudata akara makara udatta akara Rama. So that is the spelling of Rama. This is the second level. So we're just getting started, as I said. And then the udatta itself, it has got further qualities. It is sattva guna. So you can have sattva guna, rajasic, rajo guna, tamo guna. These gunas are associated with the udattas or the anudatta swara itself. And then there is a mapping. So in Sangeeta, if you have, this is a fantastic forum to present it. You have Nada and you have Veda. So you have the 7 swaras also, and you have the, the Veda and the Samskrita as well. So if you see each of these, this is like a mapping, udatta, anudatta, swarita. There are mappings to the sapta swaras as well. So this is what you see in the Vedas. This is what you see in the Sangeeta. And look at this. There are colors associated to each of the swaras itself. So sa is reddish like the lotus, re is yellow, so gold color, jasmine, blue, yellow, and all these different colors are used. The use of colors is very, very common whenever you get in to each akshara. So each akshara has a color, each pitch has a color. We'll come to that later. That we'll see later. But for now, second level, simple. Refa, dirghanudata, akara, makara, udatta, akara, Rama. Now the third level. Matrakala Varnakam. So what do we do here? Every consonant is pronounced for half unit of time. One short vowel is 1 unit of time, and a long vowel is pronounced for 2 units of time. So Ardhamatra Kala, Ekamatra Kala, Dvimatra Kala. Like that, you have Matra Kalas. You can count depending on the number of, so you can do it for your own names. All these techniques, this whole technique is applicable even for your own name. So if you calculate Rama, R is half, A is 2, is half, and A is 1 unit of time. And then in between 2 syllables, there is a anumatrika virama. There's a small pause, which is why we even distinguish it as two different syllables. See the level to which they've thought through this. This is something we take for granted. We say Rama, and then you've said all the rules perfectly. So, ardhamatrika repha, dirgha anudata, dvimatra kala, akara, anumatrika virama, because Ra syllable is over. And then ardhamatrika, makara, udata, ekamatrika, akara, ekamatrika virama, Rama. This is the spelling at the third level, where we say how many units of time and which pitch for the vowels and what the letter is. So all three are told together. That is the third level. Again, the question is sometimes asked, what is a vowel? What is a consonant? In any language in the world, irrespective of which language it is, there's one commonality. If you create a sound that is from within and you do not use any obstruction, if you're not using your tongue or lip or teeth or throat to obstruct the flow of air, and you come up with a clear sound, that is a vowel. So the minute you use your tongue or teeth or lip or anything and you're stopping the air and then you're letting it through, then it is a consonant. That is fundamentally the definition of a swara, swa and vyanjana. So whether it is in Kannada, Tamil, swara, vyanjana, meyyezhuthu, uyirezhuthu, vowel, consonant, this is the same. This part is the same. And then you have letters which are combinations of vowels. So if you try saying E and then A, you're saying two different vowels. But if you say E and A together and keep saying it very quickly, you get ya, ya, you'll end up with ya. So ya itself is a glide. It's a combination of two vowels. Wa is U and A together. U, wa, and you get this. That is why when you write the Varnamala, swaras are on top, clear sounds. Then you have all the restrictions at the throat level, kantha, restrictions at the talu level, at the palate, cha, cha, ja, janya. Then retroflex, spring action vowels, ta, tha, da, da, na, danta. So the reason why I'm saying this is you will hear that more as I read. So danta is using the teeth. So ta, ta, da, da, na, and using the oshta, pa, pa, ba, ba, ma. So this is how they've arranged the 25. And then the remaining are all these combinations of vowels, combinations of this, air is escaping through the gap, and all those are there. That is that's how we classify Vyanjana and this one. So now fourth level, okay, we are saying the word Rama, simple, we can say that. How much effort should we put? Can you imagine someone stopping to say, do I have to shout it out? Do I have to speak? Where is the other person standing so that I know whether I should say softly or say loudly? What are the rules for that? So imagine someone asking that and somebody else saying, oh yeah, don't worry, that's the fourth level. I will tell you, there are rules for that. And this is how you should, this is the amount of effort you put for uttering, for articulating an akshara. Amazing level of detail we have within our ocean of Samskrita. So I'll just read it out. So there are different prayatnas. Prayatna is effort. So direct translation, prayatna, effort. So there are different types of prayatna. The definition of this prayatna, they give it beautifully. They say, after the sound is produced, when it is traveling out, after it is, it is produced somewhere and then it reached out, that is called Bahya Prayatna. Can you imagine to what level they've slowed down every utterance to analyze where was the origin and when this sound was originating? Did it start in the middle of the mouth or back of the mouth? How much effort did you put? So all of that, there are rules. So if you have a consonant followed by vowel, vowel followed by consonant, consonant followed by consonant, there are 10 rules, 8 rules like that. So using all of that, if you spell Rama by saying these rules, how many units of time and which pitch, and then what the letter is, we get the fourth level. And that is Ardhamatrika Ishat Sprishta Prayatna. That's the Prayatna. Ishat Sprishta Prayatna. Paranga Bhuta. Paranga Bhuta means I'm telling this for the letter, for the Akshara R, Refa. So it means the next letter is a vowel. This is a consonant. The next one is a vowel. So Paranga Bhuta. Antastya Sangya. So this comes in Yara Alava. It comes in the last row. Repa. So that is just for R. Dirghanudata Dvimatra Kala. We saw that. Vivrita Prayatna. So that is another type of effort. Dirgha Sangya, long vowel. Akara. So that is A. So R and A. Now we have Ra. That's the spelling for Ra. And then Anumatrika Virama. Then we have Ardhamatrika Sprishta Prayatna. Uttama Sparsha Sangya. Sparsha Sangya. Why Sparsha? Because you're touching, the lips are touching. So Sparsha Sangya. Makara. Udatta. Ekamatrika. Samvrita Prayatna, another type of Prayatna. Hrisva Sangya, the short vowel. Akara, Ekamatrika Virama, Rama. So this is the fourth level. So now we know how much effort, how many letters, how much, how long you have to tell. And okay, this is fine. How much more can you pack into a linguistic spelling of a word, which is as simple, as small as Rama? So now I'll read the final level. So this final level has got many, many qualities. So first set of things are, like I said, point of articulation. Where does the sound start? How much effort? Which instrument are you using in the, is it the throat? Is it the, which part of the body, which part of the mouth you are using to utter this sound? And there is a visualization also that you can see, and there are names for each of these. So if I see over here, for each of these, there are words like this. And Komala Talu, Jihva Mula. Jihva Mula is from the back of the tongue. Jihva Madhya is from the middle of the tongue. Jihvagra is from the tip. So Dantagra is from near the teeth. Like that, you have these names. And then they've put a chart like this, and they've classified all the consonants and vowels, and they've said Alpa Prana, Mahaprana, which Parsha Sangya, all the details are there. So telling all those details makes it a linguistic treatment that you give to articulate in any language. In English, you will hear or see IPA consonant, IPA symbols being used. In dictionaries, if you see within bracket, or even in Wikipedia, pronunciation will be in different shapes, different letters. That is called IPA. A reason for that is every symbol, there's only one way in which you can pronounce it. So that is why they put all these rules in place, because when you recite the Vedas or you're singing something, a bhasha spashtate, the ucharana has to be precise. How do you define precise? They have defined that boundary for us. So they're saying within this boundary, if you make a sound, there is only one sound you will create, and that is R, for what I'm going to read for R. Whatever I'm going to read for A, there is no other sound you can create. You can only pronounce A with that boundary, with that effect. If you pronounce it like that, what are the benefits? Every akshara, as we heard earlier, is blessed by a god or a goddess. So there's a blessing of each god and goddess. Each letter has a different color as well. And then they can be Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Jati, Ashudra Jati for these aksharas. And then there are so many, there are 26 different attributes you can list out for each letter. We'll see very quickly what is the spelling of Rama. And while I read this, I'll pause in between when I'll tell you the color. But then before we read that, I want you to visualize when there is a Krishna Varna, for example. If you hear Krishna Varna, Krishna is black. So black, which black is that? Even that has a definition. When Vishnu is sleeping in Ksheerasagara, Lakshmi is sitting in front of him. The tejas of Lakshmi that reflects on Vishnu's dark skin, that color is what we are talking about. See the visualization for each letter. Like this, they have visualized the colors. See, if something is yellow in color, which yellow is it? The visualization we have to have. If Pita Varna is yellow. Okay. So if someone says Pita Varna, here what they are saying is Agni in his full splendor, golden hair, golden skin, rich and bright, and everything armor, everything is gold. That resplendent color. See, when the English words, we have to look for better words. That resplendent color, that tejas, that Agni's Pita Varna is given to this Akshara. So that's the level to which they have defined the color, the guna, whether it is sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. So all these gunas are also said. So sthana, guna, and all these things are there. So now putting all of this together, I'll just read for some time so that we can truly, I won't pause in between, so that we truly appreciate the length of the spelling of Rama. This is the 5th level. Nada Dhvani Janita Uttara Danta Mulado Bhaga Sthana Jihvagra Madhya Karana Ishat Sprishta Prayatna Ardhamatrika Agni Devataka Napumsakalinga Rajoguna Parangabhuta Raktavarna Antastya Sangha Sahita Vishishta Rebha. That is just for R. And then for A, Nada Dhvani Janita Natya Yuhastat Hanusthana Tata Bhutoshta Karana Jihva Mula Antakarana Urakantha Bahya Prayatna Dvimatrika Vayu Devataka Brahmana Jati Strilinga feminine Sattva Guna sattvic quality Shveta Varna white in color Agni Devataka Kshatriya Jati Tamasa Guna Kanishtikangulya Rekhanyasa. So which letter? So the names of the letters is Tarjani is the pointer finger, Madhyama is the second, this middle finger. And then you have Anamika, Kanishtika, Angushtika. So there are names for each of these letters. So Kanishtikangulya Rekhanyasa Yogya Adhyatre Deha Hriswadhvani Mardava Kantakasha Mahatva Janita Trishtup Chandaha. And then I love this word Keki Ke Karuta Tulya Shadjaswara Shadjam Swara. So this Hetu Bhuta Hridaya Sthanodbhava starting from within in Hriswa in Shadjam Swara. You have Gautama Gotra. See, look at the level. There's a Gotra also for each of these. Rishabha, Raktavarna, Dirghanudata, Swara, Sahita, Akara. So far we have only done the spelling of Ra. Anumatrika, Virama, Nadadvani Janita, Nasika, Nasika is nasal, Nasika, Vivrita, Vishishta, Uttaroshta Sthana, Adaroshta Karana. Now we are saying and we are saying Uttaroshta Sthana, the upper lip is the Sthana from where your sound is coming, and Adharoshta Karana. So the lower lip is making the effort and going towards the upper lip and closing it and then letting the sound go out to form the nasal sound. So we are getting to now. Adharoshta Karana. Sprishta Prayatna Ardhamatrika Arka Devata Madana Devata Vaishya Jati Napumsakalinga Tamoguna Krishna Varna. Remember, Krishna is now that Vishnu's, the tejas of Lakshmi reflected on Vishnu's dark skin's color. Uttama Sparsha Sangya Sahita Makara. So Ram, and then Nadadvani Janita, Natyupata Sanya Hanusthana, Tata Bhutoshta Karana, Urakantha, Bahya Karana, Samvrita Prayatna. So there's another effort. Jihva Mula Antakarana from the back of your tongue. Antakarana, Ekamatrika, Vayu Devata, Sarva Devata, Brahmana Jati, Pullinga, masculine, Rajoguna, Raktavarna, red color, Hrisva Sangya, small short vowel, Tarjinya Unguli, so Tarjini Anguli, this finger, Rekhanyasa Yogya, Adhyayana, Dairghya Dhvani, Neelakanta Pakshi, so there's this Pakshi also, Katinya Kantakasha, Krishatva Janita, Gayatri Chandaha, so that was Anushtup Chanda, this is Gayatri Chandaha, Ajarutatulya Gandhara Swara, so this is Gandhara Swara because it is a different, that was Dirgha Anudata and that Rishabha, so this is Gandhara Swara. Hetubhuta Murdhasthanodbhava Bharadwaja Gotra, so that vowel was Gautama Gotra, this is Bharadwaja Gotra, Shvetavarna, Tejomaya Agni. Tejomaya Agni. Now, when you say Tejomaya Agni, that visualization in your head, if you have that golden, splendid, that color, Devata, Brahmana Jati, Udatta Swara, Sahita, Akara, Ekamatrika Virama, Rama. That completes the spelling of the word Rama. So if you every time you say Rama, this much energy and qualities and beauty and fascinating facts and the blessings are packed into it, which is enabling us to utter that. Imagine. And then you have the story of Rama, you have the punya that you get of Ramayana, and Valmiki has described it. This is just the arrangement of the words itself has given us such a great thing. Truly wonderful stuff in the language. We'll come back to the meanings of the letters also. I'll speak about that a little bit. We'll do that later. But for now, we can go to Seetha. So similar approach. Any other, I can do it for Anjaneya, I can do it for Prabhakar, I can do it for Rupa, I can do it for any word you want. We can do the same thing. The rules are the same. Now let's see for Seetha. So we say Sakara, Ikara, the long E vowel, and then Takara, just the and then the Akara, the long A vowel for Seetha. Sakara, Ikara, Takara, Akara, Seetha. That's the first level. Now for the second level, so the first E is in Udatta, and then the second one we call it as Prachaya. So there are again, there are Anudatta, Udatta, Prachaya, and there are rules. When should you have what? How many should you have? It's very, very complex. So if you see, that itself is a book. And that's another book to what I told. So Yagyavalkya Shiksha, there are 2-3 books. There are 22 books, by the way, from which you can get, and you'll get half a line in one book. In say, if you have Paniniya Shiksha over here, in this line, you'll get something. And then you'll have to jump to Yagyavalkya Shiksha over here and turn to this page somewhere here, and then you'll get one more clue somewhere else. And then you get, and then maybe you have to look at Atreya Shiksha for some more details. And then when you go into that, you have like this, and from this text, you have some notes that you have to make. So like that for each word, it takes some effort. But once you get familiar, it becomes easier, and you begin to sense the pattern that one should apply. So similar humble attempt I've made. So if there are mistakes, please excuse. More than happy to correct it as we go along. So now let's read through for Seetha. Sakara, Ikara, Takara, Akara, Seetha, first level. Then Sakaroddata, Ikara, Takara, Prachaya, Akara, Seetha. That's the second level. Third level, S and are the consonants. So there will be half unit of time. The two vowels are long, so there will be 2 units of time. So telling how many units of time, which pitch, and the letter. Ardhamatrakala sakarodhata dvimatrakala ikara anumatrika virama ardhamatrika takara dvimatrakala prachaya akara ekamatrika virama Seetha. That's the third level. So now we'll do the fourth level. How much effort and whether it's a consonant. And if it is a consonant followed by vowel, then it will be paranga bhuta. Otherwise, it is if there are 2 consonants followed by a vowel, if it is a samyut akshara, or then it will be purva paranga bhuta you will hear. But for now, it's simple Seetha. So paranga bhuta you will hear. Ardhamatrika Ishad Vivrita Prayatna Paranga Bhuta Ushman Sangha Sakaroddat Sakara Udatta Dvimatrakala Ikara Anumatrika Virama at the end of the syllable C. Ardhamatrika Sprishta Prayatna Paranga Bhuta Sparsha Sangha Takara Dvimatrakala Prachaya Akara Ekamatrika Virama Seetha. So that completes the fourth level. And now we go to the last, the final level of the word Seetha. So here we see there are different, when we say Nada Dhvani or Shwasa Dhvani Janita, Ati Shwasa Dhvani Janita, different words are there on how much effort and where the sound is created from. So I'll tell all of that, and then the colors and the qualities. Atishwasa Janita Murdhasthana Vivrita Madhya Prativeshtita Jighvagra Karana Ishad Vivrita Prayatna Bhumi Devata Shudra Jati Strilinga Rajoguna Raktavarna. So this is red in color, Rajasic qualities, feminine in gender. Ardhamatrika Shakti Devata Paranga Bhuta Ushma Sangya Saita Sakara. So this is in the Varnamala, it is in the last row, Sa Shasha Saha. So that is this one. And people who know Katapaya, the numbering, they will also associate the number 7 with Sa. So it's all, even the numbering is there, which means we can't alter the sequence because it's packed into many things, into astronomy, into maths, into grammar, into poetry, everywhere. It's packed. So that's Sakara. Nadadvani Janita Talustana Natyupasanyatoshta Jihvagramadhya Karana Urakanta Bahya Karana Vivrita Prayatna Dvimatrika Agni Devataka Brahmana Jati Dirga Sandhya Strilinga Rajoguna Pitavarna, again yellow color. So you can imagine the color, this one. Tarjinya Anguli Madhya Rekhanyasa Kathinya Kantakasha Krishatva Janita Gayatri Chandaha Ajaruta Tulya Gandhara Swara. So again the swara associated with the E is Gandhara Swara. Hetu Bhuta Murdhasthanodbhava. Murdha is in the middle. And then Bharatvaja Gotra, Shweta Varna, white color, Tejomaya Agni Devata, Udatta Swara Sahita, Ikara. So we have done C, Anumatrika Virama, and then Shwasa Dhvani Janita, Uttara Danta Mulado Bhaga. Uttara Danta Mulado Bhaga means you have the teeth and the tongue has to come just behind the teeth to pronounce the. It's a Danta, it is Uttara Danta Mulado Bhaga. So they've told you exactly where, they'll tell you exactly which instrument to use to go there and how much effort, how much to hold back, how much to release. There is no other sound you can create apart from the akshara that they are describing. That is the beauty of the articulation, the linguistic, but also the poetic and the visualization and the blessings for the akshara. So anyway, so Shwasadvani Janita, Uttaradanta Mulado Bhagastana, Jihvagra Karana. So the tip of the tongue touches that part. Sprishta Prayatna, Ardhamatrika, Vastu Devata, Brahmana Jati, Pullinga, this is masculine. Sattva-guna, sattvic quality. Shveta-varna, paranga-bhuta means next one is a vowel. This is a consonant. Prathama-sparsha sangya. So in Tata Dadana, this is the first consonant. That is why it is Prathama Sparsha Sangya Sahita Takara. Nadadvani Janita Natyupasanhyato Hanusthana Tata Bhutoshta Karana Urakanta Bahya Karana Vivrita Prayatna Jihva Mula Antakarana Dvimatrika Vayu Devata Brahmana Jati Dirgha Sangya. Sita's is what we are seeing now, and that is Dirgha Sangya. Strilinga, Sattva-guna, Shveta-varna, Madhyamangulya Madhya. So Madhyamangulya Madhya, Rekanyasa, Yogya, Ishanyo, Adhyetra Deha, Dairghya. So these are all qualities they are reading. Tata Bhuta Dvani, Kathinya, Kantakasha, Krishatva Janita, Krauncha. Now in Sangita, the way the Swara mapping you will see in Naradiya Shiksha, in various places, you will have a mapping. The low pitch that peacock makes is the Shadjam, is the Sa, the lower Sa, is the sound a peacock makes. Ri is the sound a Rishabha, a bull, makes. Ga is the sound that a goat makes. So like that, for each, there's a mapping. Madhyama is Krauncha, Daivata is, you have a horse, and then you have Nishada as an elephant. So like this, there are mappings. The natural frequency they make is what, if you imitate that, you will sing at that note. So like that, Krauncha is the swara attached to the this A. And then Madhyama swara hetu bhuta sarvanga sthanodbhava prachaya swara sahita akara tvimatra virama Seetha. That concludes the spelling of the words Rama and Seetha. So it's just a glimpse into the thinking behind how they have analyzed these things. And then there are other books where you can get the meaning of each of these aksharas. What do you mean by meaning? It is, now, if you look at all the languages, script-based, alphabet-based languages in the world, Arabic or European languages, any of these, we have letters and we represent a sound using that. Sometimes multiple sounds use the same letter, like in English. The A has got A, O, multiple sounds are there for the same letter. Like that, when we go and we have this mapping, can you create a word of your own? What if you want to create a word of your own? How do you do that? So typically somebody else has to introduce, like Shakespeare has to create a few words and coin a few words. Milton created few words and gave it in English. So they use these words they made up, and we use it now in our language. So every now and then you will have someone who can create it. Now in Chinese, if you have seen, each design is a different word. So there is no alphabet in Chinese. So every design is a word. So if you want to create computer, if you want to create now the buzzword for this year, Gen AI. So if you want, everyone is saying ChatGPT. If you want to create a Chinese character for ChatGPT, what do you do? Can you create something? So they have a technique, they have an organization, and they will say, okay, let's go by the meaning or by this how it sounds, and I will create one character and will give that. That's the character you have to use. So this is how it is done. Samskrita does something even more powerful. It says each akshara has its own quality, each akshara has its own meaning. You use it and create your words yourself. You can, if you know the rules, if it is a valid Samskrita word, you can apply these rules. And even if you have never seen the word before, you can look at the root, you can look at a prefix, you can look at a suffix, you can look at parts of the word, you can get enough hints to guess what the meaning of the word is. And hopefully the next word will help. And then suddenly you will understand the meaning of the sentence itself. So if you explore the meaning aspect of it, the power to create a word, knowing the meaning, and if you know how to articulate it, you don't need to, you can actually have an oral tradition where for generations this will be preserved and it can go on intact without any degradation. So the whole thing it just comes together with that thought, if you see. So that was what I wanted to explore in this effort. And then I took a word called Nikunj, for example, and I tried to did some small research. I'll try to share. Of course, if this is not accurate, more than happy to get corrected. But then if you have the letter na, that means something is very tender. So means it can spread in in infinite boundary. Itself has got that power. And then e, it will stay within a boundary. U is a sound that can grow from nothing and go into the boundary of E and stop. Ka means it is creation of something. Nya, cha 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 nya, the nya is like a creation of something new, and ja means something grand. Okay, so now let's put all of this. Something tender that grows within a boundary, and there's a creation happening, and there's something going from nothing to something beautiful, and something new is getting created, and it looks grand. Same thing, if I say within the akshara, na, I, ka, u, nya, ja, nikunj. Nikunj means garden. It's a garden in Brindavana where Krishna was there. So the word nikunj itself means garden. So you don't even need a thesaurus or a dictionary to understand if you know just the meaning of the akshara. And then you have Amarakosha, you have Siddhanta Kaumudi, you have all of these, you have Acharyas like CLP sir, you have vast sources to learn from. We only have to put our prayatna. So this was my humble prayatna to reach this level. It's still a journey. I've not even scratched the surface, but yeah, that was it. I wanted to share this much just to give a glimpse, a linguistic view to Rama. So if all of you can unmute, I'll we'll just say one thing. So Rama itself. So Rama. Three times. If we say Rama, so Manas, I can go on mute.
Yeah.
So if we say Rama itself 3 times, what does its value mean? Okay, so if someone asks, what does that even mean? Let's look at it. There's this Katapayadi system I told. Ra is got the value 2, and Ma is got the value. So Ra, Ri, Ru, Re, Ro, all of them will have the value 2. And Ma has got the value 5. Okay? 2 into 5, 10. So Rama, 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 10 into 10 into 10 is 1000. So this is in English. You tell Rama 3 times, 10 into 10 into 10 is 1000. Same thing, if I tell in Samskrita, all of you can unmute. We'll tell it 3 times, all of you, if you can. Otherwise, it's totally fine. Shri Rama Rama Rama. Manasa, you have to be on mute. Rama 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 iti sahasranama tattulyam. So, Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tat Tulyam Rama Nama Varanane. So the power of Rama itself, is immense. The meaning, the akshara, the whole sequence, the Ramayana, it's a journey, it's a template. And with that, I will finish this small talk. Thank you.
Yeah, Ashwin, wonderful talk. Many times during your talk, I wanted to give a round of applause. It's sort of unveiling so many wonderful ideas, and it's almost like level 1, level 2, level 3. You're peeling the onion of information, and I can tell your linguistic genius in understanding and your excitement about your passion about these things is just infectious. And I was wondering what you will say for 1 hour about Rama, but I mean, I can see you can do a whole day talk on
Just the
it.
spelling. Just the spelling.
And it is so appropriate. As you said, it has, time, space, color, uh, significance of characteristic male, female, how for the fingers, all of that is absolutely brilliant. And it shows like why Rama is such a powerful name, right? And you were able to show it for others also, but just the special uh, meanings of just Rama itself is amazing, and Sita also is just complementing all of that. And so I totally enjoyed, and as I said many times, I wanted to give a round of applause as you were unfolding this amazing linguistic journey. Nana, you want to add? You're muted, Nana.
He's opening new vista of knowledge in this Another Veda Adhyayana Kendra monthly meet series. And moreover, we have been having different types of topics and also subjects and all that. But this is really interesting and searching. This is what exactly I call the inner engineering of the, both are engineers here and others also have joined. The inner engineering of the words, that is what is called the science of language. And language is an expression of our own feelings, and also it's a covering, it's a clothing. So the clothing for the words, generally we use it. Nobody bothers about the technicalities and the mahima and gotram, color, etc. That has been analytically pointed out by our great rishis, Vyasa Siksha, Yagnavalkya Siksha. Imagine their minds. So they're able to cut something like a rose flower in the laboratory. A botanist try to put under microscope, put some acid and try to examine and study and makes notes and figures and all those things. So this is a science. Linguistics is a science. In fact, we have got big institutes where, and when I was in post-graduation in MA Sanskrit, then I had also 2 years linguistics as a subject. And of all the subjects, I scored highest marks in linguistics. But this is a different linguistics than what we studied. And moreover, in Taittiriya Upanishad, we have got Siksham Vyakhyasyaamaha. Varna Swaraha Matra Balam Sama Santanaha. Ityukta Sikshadhyaya. Our Taittiriya Upanishad stops. Then he goes to a different situation. So, but he has started with the Sikshavalli. That's what is Sikshavalli. And Guru Sishya, Anusasana, all these are general subjects. But practically speaking, whenever you want to articulate a sound or a akshara, we require the effort. Actually, to just get out a whispering sound itself, it requires 72 muscular actions in your body. So 72 musculars have got to, of course, we have got a doctor also here. And Rupa, she is a cardiologist. It's very difficult to catch her, but somehow we have, because of our son, she is present here also. But anyway, this is the actual approach. For example, Rama and Seetha, and so much is talked about the Mahima of Rama, and very appropriate that you are able to end up the Rama Rameti Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Ramanama. The Rakara is being repeatedly said. Even addressing Parvati, Shiva also makes a pun and jugglery on that word Rama. When Parvati asked which is the equivalent word, one word to equalize the entire 1,000 names of Ram. Then she picked up Ra. He has explained the importance of the just round sound, Ra sound. And moreover, he complimented her also, Rame, Rame, Manorame. Manorame, Rame, Rame. These are all the compliments for the beauty of Parvati. Because she was not angry when she put a question. It's really a ticklish question, mischievous question it is. 1,000 names of Rama, Vishnu to read is difficulty for all people. Tell me a shortcut. That one, that shortcut isn't that Shiva could only said it. I could only say it, saying that Rama, Rame, Rame, Manorame, Sahasranama Tattulyam. And again he uses the word Varanane. You observe the word Varanana means very beautiful, attractive, etc. All that. So Anana is important. The face is important for pronunciation. And he has gone in deep inside the teeth, the lowest level of the, say, where from the prayatna, dhvani prayatna comes from our body. That's why Nabhi Hrutkanta Rasana, or Tyagaraja has made a beautiful Sobhillu Saptaswara, starting from Nabhi and taking journey up to and then come out from the mouth. So you can imagine you are just talking about the sound travel. See, for just utterance, when you say this sound, akara, short one, alpa prana, when you say mahaprana, then it is a lot of journeys there. Really very interesting, and we are sitting in a class introducing this kind of engineering or trying to get into the analytical approach. And Boda we have got Ekakshara Nigantu also.
Ekakshara Nigantu.
Ekakshara Nigantu, and moreover we have got that Lalita Trisati Namavali. See the 15 Bijaksharas of the Sri Vidya Mantra, Panchadasi, and imagine that Vyasa Maharshi was taught this by Hayagriva, just Kakara, Hakara, Lakara. So we cannot imagine, but if you, from our Saswat point of view, you start analyzing, that particular Trisati becomes a big volume. And in fact, Shankaracharya has made a commentary for the Trisati because he was given to comment only on Trisati. So he missed to comment on Lalita Sahasranamam. So he just made that Saundarya Lahari. Thousands and 180 slokas are put into 100 slokas, whatever names are there, 1,000 names in 100. Yesterday only we performed Saundarya Lahari Yagna in this place, Indianapolis. And whenever, see, every time you read those slokas are composed by Shankara and taking them as a commentary, collective commentary. A bunch of namas are taken and them are being explained. So we should imagine that, we should feel that there is a lot of known, unknown, to be known, not to be known, mahimas, well packed in a word or in a. And moreover, I'm interested, how do you coin the words? The coining, the Nikunja, you have taken a beautiful example. Actually, we translate Nikunja as a thicket or a bush, and so many people have used, but when uttering the letters and words, people don't bother what work has been done. When you prepare in the kitchen a lot of menus, you only enjoy when it comes to dining table, but you never ask for the formula, and you never go to kitchen also. But you are enjoying all that. That's exactly what happened in the Sanskrit Sahityam. See, when you are becoming a Sahitya Vedas, you are only seeing Kalidasa, Bhavabhuti, Bharavi, and all these great. And another point was, you should see, while giving name to the baby born, especially more so the avatars of Vishnu, there is a lot of thought. It is actually Vasishtha who gave the word Rama to the baby born to Kausalya. Dasame Masi Kausalya Ajanayat Ramam. So 10 months of pregnancy, and at the 10th month Rama is born. Some other versions say Navame Vasi. But even Krishna also, they have the Garbhavasa, as we understand. When Krishna was born, he was taken to that other village, and Garga Mahamuni, he came in search of, just casually visited Nanda house and he found a baby. And looking at the baby, he volunteered to what name we can give for this two children. They are same, almost Balarama and Krishna are almost contemporary babies, little difference. So first of all, he gave name to the small baby Krishna because Akarshana, attraction, so many things involved in the word. I asked him to take some 5 minutes more and explain Krishna also. So that Krishna Ashtami giving the birth time, Garga Mahamuni. So Garga Mahamuni gave the name for Krishna. And again, for Balarama, he said Rama is already there. So he added Bala, complementing. So he became then he was called as a Balarama. So these two names are very beautifully given to the brothers. And they are so cooperating for a long time, especially when war comes of Mahabharata war. Krishna is very intelligent because Krishna, is it not? He has to attract all the enemies and see that they are done. Because if supposing Balarama were to be there, probably Duryodhana and all that could not have come to the war, and in the Mahabharata war would not take place. And at the end, conclusion, when Duryodhana's thigh was broken and falling down, and he took pity upon his Shishya and comments, hey, you are doing mosam, cheating. And Krishna had to explain and say that, and silence him and all. Anyway, apart from that, so it was Garga Mahamani. So that's why the rishis are more respected or very powerful, and we all having the Rishi Parampara. Our Aswat will not be able to explain so clearly unless there is that. After all, he is a student in the engineering college, UVC, Bangalore. And his engineering subjects and all that is different. But this is something Purva Janmas Punyam. That's why you are able to get on to that, and your subject is hardly liked by people because they have no patience. But you have that kind of flair and meaning and all that. But go ahead with this kind of research and study, and sometime we'll get, because the Siksha study itself is a big subject. Pratisakhyas, they are called. So in fact, I was made to talk on Pratisakhya to MA students, Yajurveda, but this is different. But anyway, my knowledge when he's talking about it is quite limited, but I am really inspired. I was able to understand. Of course, I remember my linguistic teacher in MA, Karnataka University, and he was teaching us linguistics. But this kind of cutting to the core, trying to make out a meaning, make it travel, and also pick up the ability to be able to coin new words. After all, the words are not already, because whatever words are there in dictionary are limited. So in fact, Deccan College, Pune had a dictionary project which went so many years. After so many years, what they completed? Akara. So many years. My professor also was a editor in that, and my colleagues, some of them have joined Deccan College. But one of the fellows came and told me, asked him, Prabhakar, you are lucky that you have accepted to the teaching job, and you are seeing life, students, you can communicate. But we are all here sitting with the dictionary, research clerks. So he used the word Joshi, research clerks. We have nobody to share and communicate. And it's our own madness and our own interest and our own pronunciation. Because all PhDs are mad people. Anyway, so once you get into the subject, see, you're going down. Who bothers about the teeth, the jaw, the lower levels of the jaw, and where from actually sound comes? These are all very interesting observations, and also the effort. That's what is prayatna. So I'm just complimenting, congratulating Mr. Aswat. And apart from your other engineering, IT, you're in information technology. That information technology, okay, but you are getting that kind of information technology applied to our Siksha Shastra. And moreover, our Taittiriya Upanishad fellow, Rashi says, is a Valli. Valli means creeper.
Creeper.
The health of the creeper, the size of the leaves, depends upon the kind of tree it takes shelter. For example, the money plant, when we are bringing the money plant in a small glass bottle with water always, I learned this from an Egyptian friend of me in Pune. And when you put in the mud and when you give support for when I went to Delhi, I saw the money plant having the leaf as big as a banana leaf, big banana.
Oh,
I could not imagine how money plant leaf could be of the banana size, banana leaf size. So then imagine the tree, the soil, and the atmosphere, etc., all have contributed, and that's the luckiest one. And and again, I mean, Astraya is important. So the Valli, when Siksha is a Valli, Astraya, Nirasrayaha na sobhante, Astrayaha sobhante. Another point I want to tell you, when you go to Ujjaini, there is that Harasiddha Devi temple, Mavaru. There is one Arkapatram, Jillad Chettu is there. And we only see small size of the tree, but there it is just like a very big tree. So many branches, so many leaves and all that, because it is the Surya Bhagavan's tree, Arkapatram.
Arkapat.
So this Durga and Surya, they are good friends and identical. So in Durga, that Harasiddha Devi she is, so in front of the temple, we see such a wonderful, I was just wondering, I mean, these are all some of the wonders which take place because of the Valli system. So I think that Ashwat has started a new journey apart from his IT journey. And so this journey should not stop and get discouraged, because even in Ramayana, Valmiki says, Eti Jivantamanando Naram Varsha Shatadapiyanta. So our Anjaneya Prasad going and meeting you and talking about you. And he just putting the idea into my head. And today it has become really, and you are having good opportunity in course of, this is not the end of it. It's a Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. You are starting your journey of explaining to a large number of people. Doesn't matter whoever attended. And this will reach, and we have got our Veda Kendra. So many students are coming, learning, and satisfied with just pronunciation. But behind pronunciation, there is so much of science and magic and spirituality and mahima that you are able to point out. When you show that tabular form, already books have been printed, but copies are not much sold. Only persons like you will go as a buyer. People. But anyway, there is a buyer for such type of effort that has been done. Siksha Valli, Vyasa Siksha, Yagnavalkya Siksha, and all that. In fact, we had a talk on Yagnavalkya Maharshi that they just limit with the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad or Siddha Brahmana. But they should come to the Yagnavalkya Siksha, which you mentioned for the first time. And also the Vyasa Siksha and all that. So, oh, very good. Yagnavalkya Siksha. You are having all the Siksha Granthas with you in our library. Good. Paniniya Siksha. Yesterday only, I just had a talk with, I will make him, Charan Singh, who is responsible for our Wi-Fi. He was in Wi-Fi team long back when it was introduced to us. And he turned to learn Sanskrit and Upanishad. He is interested in the Siksha and Vyakaranam and all that. I will give his contact. And he did not join, but I told him to join. Every week I will have talk with him. So he is one who is going to be a diligent, sincere, faithful student for you. He likes your way of approach and all those things. So Santi Santaha, Subha Bharturi says, Kiyantaha, he himself puts a question. Kiyantaha Santaha. So he can't give a number of them. And moreover, the research is again nothing we are discovering. You are saying coin means, even to coin a new word, you must have a lot of basis, lot of hypothesis, material. And with all that, you can project one new word. And in fact, in Sanskrit also, there is one particular thing in English also, just as Shakespeare, Milton, you mentioned them, they have coined the words. That's why paradise gained, paradise lost. So Milton, he did not stop with gain, paradise lost also. But more than the gain, the paradise lost is very popular. We had some portion from Paradise Lost, Saturn talking about it. So today, trying to give a green focus to whatever knowledge and whatever is inner knowledge. See, dormant knowledge also is there. Something like Kalidasa telling that in fifth act, he says, Ramyani vikshya madhurams nisamya shabdan paryutsuki bhavati yat sukitopi jantuhu tat chetasa smarati noonam abodha purvam bhavasthirani jananantara sauhrudani. Our brain has got a large number of folds. The brain specialist doing so, but what they fold inside is engineering. And that only rishis are able to unearth through their tapas. So tapasa Brahma vijignasasva. What is Brahma? All this is Brahma. Whatever is unearthed, and trying to explain all these things. So, sir, I don't want to continue. I give another 4 or 5 minutes to just explain the Krishna also, how that Krishna is akarshana. Attraction is there. You offered. So Krishna, let him, you take it out.
Again, so Krishna itself, if you say Ka is again creation, I need to look at some more details for that one. R is there, and then Sha. So Krishna itself, again, from a linguistic perspective, we try and suppress it as much as possible, but then in such forums we can speak freely. Many people write it as Krishna, Krishna, or they'll say Krishna. It's hard to actually say the word for many people, but then if you see there are two shakaras, so the sha from the front and then sha from the back. So this is sha and tata dadana, it is reflex. So it says murdhanya sha and murdhanya nakara. So Krishna is the correct pronunciation. So I will spend some more time and I will give a detail. I've started, in fact, for Goklashmi was planning to do the same thing. So I will definitely share.
Another point I ask you, people say Kru, Rukara, Krishna in Sanskrit. You write always, you don't write Krishna, you don't cut like Christ.
Yeah.
So Krishna is K-R-I, and just below the R, we put a dot, diacritical mark. So we say K-R dot, and then S-H-N-J. So this
should be the vowel R and not the consonant Ra. So Ra's pronunciation, Svaranakrama is different, Ru is different. So yeah, definitely.
So this is interesting, contrasting writing in English and in our Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, you don't write Krishna, you write only Krishna. So Krishna Raya Bharam. So that you can just take a note and don't tax your head now. So grateful for you, sir. And we'll have subsequently some more opportunities when you are ready, because you are very busy engineer, talking from London. And Prasad has got you to, so London and Indianapolis, and he's in the Columbia, Missouri, and all people have so many people from India. So this internet has made everybody to come online, and so all those things. Babu, have you a comment, having heard him so much of analytical things, other than what you have done also?
No, I think we can hear from Rupa Rao right now.
Yes, Rupa Rao is there.
No, thank you for, Uncle, Prabhakar Uncle always tells me, please join, we have all these, nice sessions, and this is my first opportunity. And I don't know what shall I say, mind-blowing or mind-numbing, but it was excellent. You made it so simple. You made it so simple, and I could go through it step by step. You nailed it, but in reality, what you just said or what you talked about was very, very complex. And to make a very complex topic very simple, step by step. So, as Prasad Kalyam said, it was an hour, and I didn't realize it was an hour because it was so grasping. Like you kind of had that engagement. And, it's definitely, I think, very, very, very well delivered topic. And I think I could, get a little bit of glimpse of the depth of this science behind this language. And as you said, I think you rightfully said, it's like you explore more, you explore more. And as much as you want, you can explore. And this is just the basics you're giving. Um, and I think that's the beauty. And we don't realize that, to be very honest, I think we take these things for granted. But if you go and explore, you realize, our ancestors, we are so proud of our religion and country and what they did like many years ago. And we didn't have internet or chat GPT at that time, but to
Exactly.
create this, and I think you kind of opened up that door, and people, I think I'm interested now to, and and whenever I say Rama now, I'm going to remember your talk. We assume that it is simple. That's number one. And I think I really am. I mean, you have an art of nailing a complex topic and making it understand and get to the people like me who doesn't even know anything about the science behind this. The second thing is, I think Uncle mentioned, the engineering part, and but I'm a doctor, and I feel like, we touched upon all this, when you're describing it, teeth, the middle of the tongue, or the coming from the, the inner, the breath and the windpipe and everything. I think it when they created it, I think they probably thought about the connection it has on the brain and what it can do to the mind. I think there is a deeper meaning to it. For example, I'm going to just share this story. It is a true story, not my patient, but a podcast. A patient who's like she had stroke, massive stroke, and once they have stroke, they have to go through a lot of, couldn't talk, had to go through a lot of therapy, and couldn't get to talking again. Had a really bad injury. So in that podcast, she said after years of trying, she actually started reciting these Sanskrit shlokas. So the Sanskrit shlokas, she said after trying it in a different levels, she was able to speak. And this is a true story. And I do believe that because the way you pronounce, the way it has impact on the brain, and I don't think anybody has studied it in depth. um, uh, I do believe there is that cognitive influence and the intellectual influence and the peace it brings. It is just not the way you pronounce it, it's the impact that we have. So I think that's what I would like to kind of, explore at some point. And but the more inner meaning than more to it than what we have definitely explored. So those were my two observations. And once again, I am so thankful to hear you today, and you did an amazing job, amazing job.
Thank you very much. It means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. You're being kind. But
We
yeah,
have K.S. Ramaswamy, is our colleague law, and he's just watching. I wish that you will be able to speak a few words. Ramaswamy is there.
my father-in-law, my wife is also there. And my mother is there. Lata Sheshadri is my mother.
Oh, hello.
Very nice that you made all. And long back we saw each other. So Ramaswamy, please.
His audio is not connected. I don't know if he can.
His audio connected, no? You just.
He's only connected in video. But yeah, I think what Rupa was saying and what I was also kind of reflecting is, Ashwin, he showed how languages have a lot of connection to our body and nature. And like Rupa was saying, like Sanskrit, probably like how you're saying, how this prayatna, the gap, the way the language is directed our better selves, right? Our better natures. So that's why it makes us, if we are speaking Sanskrit, learning Sanskrit, we've always been told you will be more distinguished. It's not anything about the language being, pompous or anything, but the nature connection of how the language is and how it brings the better nature of ourselves. I think it's probably very scientific. And I'm so happy you are spreading it. And Rupaji, actually, Ashwin teaches kids all kinds of languages. He's had over 100 languages experience and he made these observations across languages of how vowels
Show
and
you.
consonants across languages
you
have
one.
these
Show you
different.
one small artwork. If you
Yeah.
see here,
Oh,
this is a tree with many leaves. But if I zoom in, each leaf is a different language. So Kannada, Malayalam, Telugu, Punjabi, all these are all Indian languages. And these are Southeast Asian, Burmese, Thai, Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, European languages. And here Hebrew, Arabic, Persian. And here you have Mankoti Manakagga, my favorite tongue twisters, the various inspirational quotes from different languages, Tirukkural, Harivansh Rai Bachchan's, Rabindranath Tagore's poetry. So Telugu, Kannada, I mean, there are 25,000 letters from 61 scripts in this artwork. And it is still growing. Just,
yeah.
that tree will remain evergreen forever. All these languages will be there. Some leaves will fall, new leaves will come. It will continue. That was the thinking behind it.
And you see, this is what is called Akshavidya. That's what you see that Rituparna Maharaja taught the Akshavidya to Nala Chakravarti, who was in guise, and because afterwards he was aware of, for example, he was asked to give the number of leaves that a particular tree had on his way. So he just said, "No, I cannot." Then Rituparna Maharaja told Nala, it contains so many lakhs of leaves. If you want, you can verify. And actually, Nala stopped and verified and said the number is correct. Then, how are you able to tell exactly how many leaves that it has got? Then he taught. Then only he was taught the Akshavidya, and that Akshavidya was known to that Shakuni. So he was able to make sound out. But Dharmaraja did not know Akshavidya. So that was the crisis, and Mahabharata war came up, or they had to go to forest and all that. So when you are preparing a tree like that, you are also knowing that Akshavidya glimpses into your head, and you don't know what you want to know. That's why one of the definitions of education is to know what we know. To know what we do not know is education. So you're educating us, saying that let the tree grow. Tree always grows. And very fascinating. And in fact, Rupa's comments also, she's a doctor. When you are talking about the body parts inside, she knows all them. To go into the deeper into the jaw and also the teeth and all that, and also all these things, because knowledge is simply very, very clear and wide and impossible to explore to the top. But that's why he said, Alpascha kalaha bahavascha vignaha tat sarabhutam parimargitavyam. So today's talk is something like sarabhutam parimargitam. That is how that Rama and Seetha, only hundreds and thousands of names, sacred names are there in our scriptures. If you put your torchlight on each of that, you will be able to see the. That's why it is a life project, not lives project. So my professor used to say, what topic we take for PhD, it's only you must be concentrating on the degree. After degree, you will have whole life to work on the footnotes you give for that. Footnotes become main topics. So like that, today is a wonderful day, a good combination of the teamwork here. And all of them are scholars and good deep in their own respective fields. And our Babu is in the computer and the cyber security and the theft that is going to take place, how to avoid it. And you are there and she is there. And our Rama and his father-in-law was my colleague. And so he's also very much talented and actor and all that. And his wife happened to be, I think she's my student also in Gauri Vidya.
Manasa.
She was sitting Rama Lakshmi or something like that. So now you have given opportunity to see them how old they have become, because we are also old. When young, we are all together.
Manasa.
Huh? Yeah.
Manasa. Yes, yes.
And I see her mother, and I saw her only when she was very quite young before marriage. Now I am seeing her after marriage. So many years have passed by. So very happy to see all of you, and very nice. So
Yes, we can have Shivalingaya Garu conclude. Yeah.
and anything
Yeah.
do you want to comment? You as a wife, tell them, Chapamma, Yamana comments unaya that your husband is putting both things, engineering and also this Shiksha Shastram. You know, when it is said a Valli, it is only right. And you are a Valli for her.
Manasa, okay. Mute and come here.
Okay.
Yeah, Ashwin. Anything you want to speak? Ramaswamy did not, but our Srinivas Govind is there here from Bangalore. He must be very much happy to make some.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're very happy to hear, and as usual, my mother was also overhearing some of the portions. It is wonderful, sir. But I'm not in any way a scholar in this angle, but I'm a real appreciator and motivator to a lot of people. To add to this, I attended me and my mother also, who is 92, attended a program in National Institute of Advanced Sciences, where Radha Narasimha was the big boss. And of course, in his chamber, my mother was also given some time to rest. Why? Because she took part in that program where National NLP, Dr. Jha, secretary, had come from Delhi for, from Department of Science, actually. DS, Department of Science and Technology. Why I'm mentioning is, I would like to pass on this recording. As I told you, I am nobody, but then whenever I discuss and interact, I feel elated. I feel I'm the best in that. But virtually like the moment I'm coming out of it, I'm nowhere in the scene. But then when I attend, I feel I'm equal to anyone. But then that's the kind of a level of communication and simple way that you have put, sir. And very happy to hear Dr. Prabhakar's summary, and then bringing so many aspects of Veda. He mentioned about Shikshavali, which is I really recorded on the spot. And immediately I will tell 3-4 people, put a small message, because to read and understand in total Shikshavali or this one is very difficult. But bits and pieces, when it comes, it really strikes you. That was wonderful, sir, Guruji. Sir, then I want to, Dr. Ramanujam, Mr. Dr. Prabhakar, sir, Dr. Ramanujam Center for Development of Advanced Computing, he also presented a paper with Dr. Jha, on that NIAS. My mother also took part, as I told you. And another gentleman is Dr. Gopinath from IISc. When my grandson was born, 3 years old, we named him as Anay, A-N-A-Y. It was from Sahasranama Margo Nayo Nayo Neyaha. Anay is invincible, and all that thing is there. But Dr. Gopinath took this, and then they're also equal to Dr. Gopinath is a technical gentleman in IISc, but then he took this point so well. I'm sure he is waiting. His daughter's marriage was there day for yesterday. He told me, Govindraj, I'm not there. Can you give me the recording? So, and then I passed on to him. And Dr. Ramanujam tried to come online, but he had some other Bhasha class, it seems. Sir, you know Dr. Ramanujam very well, sir. Anyway, my mother's guru, his father was my mother's guru, Parankushachar Swami. And he did, anyway, just a simple thing to add, sir. And Dr. Professor Dwarka Das, he was a metallurgy head of science in IISc. He also said, I'm not able to attend. What is really in it? And I was able to answer. Now that if the recording comes, I'll be able to pass it on to these real people who will be benefited more than, I'm only a good listener. I enjoy. But then there are many who can take it beyond. So the way it was presented, so simple as people put it across. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
I'm so happy, Ashwin.
Namaste.
I saw you. Now I'm seeing the data. I don't know. I don't remember when she is sitting in the class. And her mother also was sitting in the class.
Ritanya, that's the
Huh?
daughter. Ritanya, that's the
Manasa,
daughter.
Ritanya.
And another third generation I'm seeing. So so that means she must have, the small girl should also be my student now, you know. So
Definitely.
mother,
Definitely.
daughter, and then granddaughter. So lucky. Today is a very auspicious day. And that Krishna is very much blessing us all to have a wonderful meet, so that we should visit London and see you, to see how your family. I don't know. But anyway, it's really Anjaneya Prasad could take diversion and catch hold of his classmate in the engineering college. Really, see, classmates are there many,
True,
but
sir.
a few only will be able to meet and be used. And that is how, and he is discovering so many people because he's visiting. So anyway, basically I should thank Dr. Anjaneya Prasad and all the baby of his friends and Ashwath. And and it is a beginning for our Ashwath's subject opening. I told you, Valli, said creeper. So I
Yes.
will, and we'll just arrange some other kinds of this kind of meet,
Sure.
so
Sure.
that this becomes a part of study and knowledge, and people should know how the words take their origin and what mahima they have got. In fact, the best example is the Lalita Trisati. Best example. So they
Sure.
say if you recite the Lalita Trisati, it is as good as doing the Sri Vidyopasana, all the 15 letters. So I don't know, very happy. And I could see Ramaswamy also. We all know when we had the college before 2000, but afterwards we could not meet him. But now I am seeing Ramaswamy and family, and so happy, Babu. Your parents are
Dr. Anjan,
Ashwath?
Yeah.
Your parents are also there?
Yeah, my mother
Yeah,
is there. That is my mother.
Your mother, and then, oh, namaskar, mama. Namaskara.
Namaskara. I'm Lata Ashwin's mother, and this is very interesting. Of course, I have heard Ashwin. He really spends too much time researching and all this. He's got a passion for this. And today it was really very interesting, and it's also very nice to know you people. And Anjaneya Prasad, of course, I know as my son's classmate, but I hadn't met you. This is really very nice, and it was very good and very interesting, the whole thing.
Thank you. The other person there is Dr. Suchitra Nam Chikkama. So she is also a professor of economics. So
Oh.
Dr.
Oh.
Suchitra.
Mm.
And that's her son behind there.
And what is he?
I
All this-
enjoyed,
He's also
I
from
enjoyed the talk. I never expected that just two words, Rama and Sita, you can talk for hours together. And I never thought that you talk about colors, but he had told me, explain once to me. That was when I realized that people can have colors and significance and so many things. Because basically my subject is economics and not anything to do with this. But I know that he does a lot of research. He's a linguist. Excellent talk. I enjoyed it, though it was above my head.
No, it is in the head now. So, actually, it's our Ashwath. I'm seeing him as a volcano. The only thing is, suddenly it erupts and then gives you a lot of things. So you have a volcanic brain. So try to go on. Don't get disinterested or disenthused.
Yeah.
Do your go on. See, eti jaivantam anando naram varshasatadapi. So Ramayana people keep on talking. Sita, though she was under so many hard circumstances, she never left her hope on Rama. Someday Rama will come and I will definitely be taken. Even though Anjaneya offered her to sit on his back and come, Sita
Yeah.
did not jump with the idea. You are a monkey. She laughs at him. At least one time she laughed, looking at the thought given by the suggestion given by the Hanuman. However it is, so Ashwath, please continue your line of research too much. And there is always, you can also think of publishing a book like that. And it will definitely have a more circulation because you are a science student and engineering student. You have
Correct.
that all instruments in your hand. So instrumentation also. I means instrumentation also. So the instrument, without instrument, you cannot do anything. Without screwdriver, there is no screw at all. How- So we encourage your daughter is so she will help you for drawings and all those things and all that.
Sure, uncle.
Huh?
He started this whole thing with her name. Ritanya is her name. So her name is Ritanya.
Oh,
So he started this whole research for her first birthday. He started to research about this, write about it, and then that is when he started to do all these things. So he spent quite some time, almost few months time to even. We didn't spend so much time thinking of a name, but to write the Varnakrama, he spent a lot more time there for that name.
so for everybody, this is a turning point. So
Nikunj is,
every great man has got a turning point.
Correct.
Tulsidas is one, and so many people. I mean, so let us not recount on them. Everybody has got the turning point, so that they become good philosophers, scientists, and all that ranking takes place, and that's all divine grace.
Nikunj is his nephew. And he said Nikunj is garden. Right now, he is in US and he is lawn mowing. So I was laughing. The garden is in the lawn.
My sister's son's name is Nikunj. So
You see, Nikunja, in fact, that I have so many references in the Nikunja I've used by so many Sanskrit poets, and I used to only translate it as a thicket or bush and something like that. But deeper into the word ni, ku, that anuswara, ja, and moreover, very few people get interested in this analytical section. So people don't want to dissect. They don't. They want to enjoy it as it is. But dissecting has got so much of advantages. ಏನಮ್ಮ ನೀವು ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀಯಾ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀಯಾ
ಎರಡು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗತ್ತೆ
or English
Kannada,
BBC?
English, Tamil, Telugu, you can understand.
Good. Because people born and be outside the India, they will have language problem. Only they know English. And other language, they got confused the children. But if you are familiar with all these languages, lucky baby. Go ahead.
She started with Hayagriva Stotram now. So
very good.
That is the beginning. So Modal Petindi.
Very good. Jnananandamayam devam nirmala spatikakrutim adharam sarvavidyanam hayagrivam upasmahe. So Hayagriva will happy to see you all people. See, our subject of specialization is no matter, but the analytical approach and even Rupa also, as very well pointed out, as a doctor, she found a lot of interest and fascinating to us. Like that, so many people will get benefited. We will have a beginning of this and let us journey with that, sir.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
We'll do the Shanti Mantra. Shivalingaya, please.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hariye Paramatmane Pranata Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Krishnaya Yadavendraya Jnanamudraya Yogine Nataya Rukminishaya Namo Vedanta Vedine Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumara Govindaya Namo Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumara Vasudeva Namo Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Vidyankaravavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe Om Shanti 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 सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामय सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु श्रीवासुदेवार्पणमस्तु श्रीवेदपुरुषाशीर्वादोऽस्तु ॐ श्रीमातृचरणारविन्दार्पणमस्तु ॐ तत्सत्
Beautiful.
हरि ओम्।